In this WrestleTalk news, more backstage WWE conflict, major SummerSlam plans potentially revealed, original AEW title plans, and more. Subscribe and enable notifications to Always On for daily wrestling news videos.
Support WrestleTalk!
One of the most bizarre bits of news to come out of WWE this week was the company's desire to legalize betting on their scripted matches. Sports betting has become a bigger and bigger thing, with many of the major sports leagues in North America making deals directly with betting companies. Naturally, WWE would want to get in on that action, with Dave Meltzer speculating that this could be an attempt to drive up the price of the company prior to a sale. This could, of course, be yet another instance of Vince McMahon once again getting his meddling hands into WWE matters, which could certainly track given his reported involvement in the creative plans for certain WWE stars of late. Cough, Brock Lesnar, cough, versus cough, almost cough. It may be all for naught, however, because for as much fun as I have placing my $2 bets on the Super Bowl, that game has something that WWE will never have: being a real game. The fact that WWE is in fact a scripted medium would present its own challenges in the event of gambling legalization, with the main one being that, according to Meltzer, the creative team will no longer be allowed to know the finishes ahead of time to the major matches. That sure makes booking wrestling difficult, don't you say? Unsurprisingly, Meltzer also said that the general reaction he has heard in response to this is that it is a very dumb, very bad idea. I don't think I need to tell you that booking long-term stories would be near impossible if you were not allowed to know the finishes of your matches at your many premium live events. So it is possible that this whole gambling thing never gets off the ground for WWE at all. This has also been reinforced by the difficulty WWE faces getting betting on their matches legalized at all, because while they have registered with the Indiana Gaming Commission in a move related to legalizing betting on matches, in Colorado they have had no such luck. The Colorado Division of Gaming told CNBC that it is not considering legalizing betting on scripted wrestling matches, with a spokesperson saying they have a statute against betting on predetermined outcomes for events like the Oscars. We will continue to pay close attention to this developing story because rent is due, and I could really use a 12-leg WrestleMania parlay going through right about now. This week's Monday Night Raw saw the return of WWE Hall of Famer Trish Stratus just in time to be included in a big trios match at WrestleMania 39, teaming with Becky Lynch and longtime frenemy Lita to take on Damage Control. Now it seems this may not be a one-and-done match for Stratus, with Worked Wrestling reporting on Twitter that Trish could be earmarked for a post-WrestleMania heel turn and SummerSlam feud with Becky Lynch. Worked Wrestling still has an unproven track record, so take this information with a grain of salt, but anything that would see more Trish on my TV is enough to get me excited. Trish is no stranger to summertime rivalries with WWE's horsewomen, as she wrestled Charlotte Flair at SummerSlam 2019, but she very much did that one as a babyface, with the show taking place in her hometown of Toronto. Go Leafs go. Trish has not been a heel on WWE television for nearly 2 decades, so this would certainly be a change of pace for the typically cheerful legend, but a match with Lynch would undoubtedly be one of the biggest matches of this year's SummerSlam, a show set to take place in Detroit's massive Ford Field. I love me some Trish Stratus, I love me some Becky Lynch, so here's hoping it happens. A big shout out to our Patreons, He Ran, Aaron Hanrahan, and the Machine Gun, Alex Anderson. AEW's post-Revolution Dynamite had some high highs, such as Powerhouse Hobbs winning the TNT Championship, but also some pretty low lows, such as QT Marshall being shoehorned into said title win's conclusion. But among the highs and the lows, there were also some, moments, such as AEW renaming the All-Atlantic Championship to the International Championship. And don't worry, Ollie, it's definitely not another AEW title. While at the very least, it's not another championship belt to go along with the All-Atlantic title, the question on most fans' lips was, and is, why? While it was seemingly hinted at being the case in Tony Khan's announcement of said name change, the answer seems to lie mostly with AEW's partnership with the upcoming Shazam! Fury of the Gods movie. According to Fightful, AEW was approached by Warner Bros. Discovery for something big to help promote the movie. However, the decision to level up, as TK put it, the All-Atlantic title was 100% his decision. Fightful also revealed that the decision to do so was actually made months ago. The report continues by revealing that AEW prides themselves on making sure any cross-promotion they take part in has something newsworthy associated with it. Not only that, but the name change also has something to do with AEW's Winnipeg edition of Dynamite next week. With the title name change, AEW reportedly saw the chance to not only cross-promote the movie, but also have a notable match advertised for the show. Nothing says notable quite like Double J, baby. As mentioned previously, one of the best moments from this week was Powerhouse Hobbs finally gaining some well-deserved singles gold in AEW. Yes, the execution was a bit spotty to say the least, with the finish and the no DQ aspect of the match reportedly not originally planned or even listed internally as such according to Fightful Select. At least Hobbs got the win in the end. However, it must be said AEW's been doing that TNT hot potato thing again like they did last year with the Sammy Guevara-Scorpio Sky feud. Since Samoa Joe won it from Wardlow back at Full Gear in November, we've had Darby Allin, Joe again, Wardlow, Master Thief QT Marshall, and of course, Will Hobbs. While this type of booking can seem a bit erratic, according to Fightful, all of these changes were in the plans months ahead, with Darby in particular even filming VTRs with the title prior to winning it. Fightful also revealed that Hobbs' title reign in particular was always viewed as the end game for his reportedly planned big push. So let's calm it all down and allow Hobbs to reign over AEW's mid-card for a while now, yeah? Among the criticisms often rallied against AEW is their handling of AEW Rampage. The show that initially seemed to be the vital extension of Dynamite has ended up feeling more like AEW Velocity at times. Y'all be wondering why Rampage isn't in the Saturday reviews anymore? That's part of it. So while fans may clamor for AEW to fix Rampage before adding more to their content calendar, it looks like TK may have other plans. 2 weeks ago, TK announced AEW All Access, a behind-the-scenes show documenting stories that have taken place behind the curtain in AEW. While the initial announcement may have fallen a little flat, it does look like a pretty interesting watch based on the trailer. However, it appears that Tony Khan may not be done there, as according to Fightful, there have been internal rumors in AEW that even more content could be on the way in the future. Although as of right now, it could be fairly far away, as Fightful notes that top stars in the company have not yet been briefed on any upcoming announcement. Given AEW All Access isn't even out yet, I would bet that this would be the case. But hey, stay tuned to WrestleTalk.com for any and all updates. Back to WWE now, and yesterday saw the news that NXT star Sarray was set for her WWE exit upon the expiration of her contract. While this kind of news is always surprising, for Sarray it perhaps is not so much so. The Japanese star has been largely absent on WWE TV, especially over the last year, where she only wrestled a small amount of times between NXT and NXT UK prior to the brand's closure. Sarray's rather absentee status in WWE has also reportedly extended to behind the scenes as well, as Fightful has reported that Sarray's presence at the WWE Performance Center has been non-existent as of late, with talent telling Fightful that the 26-year-old hasn't been seen for ages at the PC. As well as this, Fightful has reported the potential reasoning as to why Sarray's time in WWE has come to an end, interestingly revealing that a certain WWE release early in 2022 may have played a massive part in the diminished role she played recently. According to Fightful, the departure of William Regal in January 2022 was the beginning of the end for Sarray in WWE, as Regal was known to be one of her biggest supporters. Ever since, Sarray hasn't factored into creative plans consistently, with the writing being on the wall dating all the way back to spring of last year. Despite WWE's creative mishandling of Sarray, the reports note that the Japanese star was well regarded backstage, with nobody having anything negative to say about her. Moving from one WWE departure to potentially a WWE debut, #1 contender to the undisputed WWE Universal Championship Cody Rhodes recently spoke to Ryan Satin on his Out of Character podcast and was asked about the future of his wife, Brandi, within the WWE sphere. Since leaving WWE in 2016, part of Cody's presentation was his wife Brandi accompanying him to the ring, doing so in New Japan, Ring of Honor, and of course most prominently in AEW. However, while many would have expected otherwise, Brandi has yet to appear on WWE TV, bar his Royal Rumble return vignettes. While Cody stated that himself and Brandi like to do things separately when it comes to professional matters, he also refused to rule out a potential role in WWE for his wife in the future. With thanks to Fightful for the transcription, I wouldn't rule it out, but she absolutely loves watching what I'm doing. She has some stuff that she's working on secretly, unrelated, and I ain't gonna spoil it. Unrelated, will not spoil it. Definitely never say never. Moving on to the man that gave Cody a big ol' endorsement and a hug on this week's Raw, John Cena. Cena's much advertised appearance at the TD Garden in Boston saw him and Austin Theory set the stage for their US Championship clash in Hollywood in 3 weeks' time at WrestleMania. Oh yeah, and John Cena buried him hard. While Cena's promo on Theory has split fans' opinion, it seems like backstage in WWE, the general consensus is that Cena's appearance was a massive success. According to Fightful, WWE were happy with Cena bringing some familiar eyes to the show. However, unfortunately for WWE, rather surprisingly, it didn't provide a massive boost to overall viewership. According to Showbuzz Daily, Raw recorded an overall average of 1.83 million viewers with an 0.52 rating in the 18 to 49 demographic and an 0.33 in the 18 to 34. The boost was nowhere near as large as the one Cena provided in his previous appearance on the the final SmackDown of 2022, which drew 2.629 million viewers, albeit SmackDown consistently outperforms Raw, but still a fairly big difference nonetheless. As for Theory, WWE needs to get his heat back ASAP, and this time, preferably without the bald jokes. And that just about wraps things up from me. Make sure, of course, that you check out all of the latest Cineworld content over at the Cineworld YouTube channel, including the latest edition of What's On with Luke Owen and the lovely Dan Layton.
Coming up on today's show, we will be talking through the month's big releases, including Creed 3, Scream 6, Shazam, Fury of the Gods, John Wick Chapter 4, and more.
It's Oscar season. We'll be telling you how you get a chance to see some of this year's best pictures for £5.
And we'll be chatting with the stars of Creed 3.